Oftentimes on my channel, you will hear me say the jokes practically write themselves. Well, this joke right here is so blatantly in your face, you couldn't even hide it with invisible ink if you tried. So apparently there is a George Floyd scholarship. First off, I didn't even know they had a George Floyd scholarship, but shout out to whoever's going to receive it. But now it's come with a dilemma, and we know who that dilemma is coming from. So as you can see by the title, it says George Floyd scholarship accused of discriminating against non-black students in federal complaint. The George Floyd Memorial Scholarship at North Central University in Minnesota violates the Civil Rights Act, according to the complaint filed by the Legal Insurrection Foundation. So my assumption is that the scholarship was offered to most likely somebody who is black, and now somebody who is not black, most likely PC, but I could be wrong, but I'm willing to bet the bottom dollar it's most likely them, got upset and now is trying to sue for discrimination. You want to know what's so interesting about that is the blatant hypocrisy. These are the same people that had nothing but disparaging things to say about George Floyd when he got taken out of this world by Derek Chauvin. I'm talking about everything under the sun, from, the knee wasn't on the neck, and the favorite one was the fentanyl, he attacked a pregnant woman even though that had nothing to do with why he was taken out, but they love to just throw that in there anyway because they have no other argument, and a host of other things. But when it comes to money with his name attached to it, even though it's a scholarship but it's still money, now they want to sue for discrimination. This reminds me of the video y'all saw me recently do about that guy who tried to apply for that job with the Chicago Bears, and he tried to sue them for DEI even though the job description was asking for a non-white male, particularly a quote-unquote person of color or a woman, which he did not fit the description of, and he's trying to sue them. This right here is proving to be no different, but it's also going to bring in a bigger discussion, especially one that I saw on X when people got wind of this particular story, and that's how we have to do stuff based on lineage and not just based on race. Because if you do stuff based on just lineage, then it's very specific and it actually blocks them from trying to pull a stunt like this, albeit they look goofy doing this. Again, because these are the same people who had a lot of disparaging and very disrespectful things to say about George Floyd then and still do to this day. But now that there's money involved, now they want to sue because they feel like they're not in on it. Again, this goes back to whenever black people try to create something for themselves because we're quote unquote not allowed to be at their table. So when we build our own, here they come in trying to knock the legs from under the table that we're trying to build. It's a tale as old as time when it comes to them. But let me go ahead now and get into the article itself. The George Floyd Memorial Scholarship offered at North Central University in Minneapolis, Minnesota, is being accused of violating the Civil Rights Act, according to a federal complaint. The Legal Insurrection Foundation filed the legal complaint Monday with the U.S. Department of Education Office for Civil Rights. Notice that a lot of them now are trying to sue for the violation of civil rights. Again, the same people whose ancestors didn't even want civil rights because they knew it was going to affect black people more than anything. Now, how many years, 60 plus years later, now they are using or trying to use the violation of civil rights every chance they get. The conservative nonprofit says its mission is devoted to advancing free expression and academic freedom on campuses. The foundation claims the George Floyd Memorial Scholarship is violating Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, and national origin in programs and activities receiving federal financial assistance. To be eligible for the scholarship in question, the applicant must be a student who was black or African American, that is, a person having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa, according to the university. Now, see, suggesting that people was talking about online back to the lineage is they said people who were affected or come from a group of people who's affected by, of course, being enslaved, affected by redlining, affected by Jim Crow. Once you really break it down to its simplest form like that, then it's very hard for them to get in there. They'll try because, that's just who they are. But it'll be even harder for them to try to penetrate it. Although they shouldn't be able to try it with this. But again, as you can see, stranger things are happening at the moment. Students who do not meet the prerequisite racial category are automatically ineligible for the scholarship. Discrimination against white applicants is just as unlawful as discrimination against black or other non-white applicants, complaint writer, civil rights attorney Amir Beno and Cornell University law professor William Jacobson said. Regardless of NCU's reason for sponsoring and promoting the GFM scholarship, it is violating the Title VI by doing so. Again, when it's something that's supposed to be specifically for black people, here they come and inserting themselves in there. I don't know about y'all, but that sounds like victimhood to me. The same victimhood, again, that they try to claim we need to stop projecting out there into the world, and they're literally doing it right here in front of our faces. And when you call them out on it, then they try to deflect and rebound in another direction and say what it is because, you know, I'm white and I say so. North Central University did not immediately respond to an NBC News request for comment. The George Floyd Memorial Scholarship was created in 2020 to contribute toward the educational promise of aspiring young black American leaders, according to a university news release. The scholarship is still accepting application for the 2024-25 academic school year, and the recipient will be selected by June. The thing of the matter is, there are so many scholarships and grants out there for anybody to get, no matter what the race, ethnicity, or place of origin the person comes from. Why do you want that one? Something that's specific for black people. See, this the thing is, if they can't have it, no one can. We are dealing with not only a very anti-black group of people, but a very self-serving and very selfish group of people. But I guess, you know, that kind of goes hand in hand. Again, it goes back to the one that I did about the one that tried to apply for that job with the Chicago Bears and said he was trying to go and sue them for DEI. You didn't qualify. Just like in this case right here, you don't qualify. There are other scholarships out there that you can apply for that I'm sure you can receive if you are eligible. Is a reason why it's called eligibility. But see, they want to do the all lives matter thing. But really what that boils down to is white people matter and nobody else. Notice they didn't say who was doing this. But let's be real here. Let's be completely honest with ourselves here. We know it's the usual suspects that's making all this noise. We know it is. But you know what? Keep on doing that, because you're making yourselves look even more ridiculous as time goes on. DEI, or as I like to call it, DD, is kicking their ass right now. See, they want to run around and talking about, oh, DEI is anti-white and DEI is anti-this. They keep saying it over and over and over again. Well, guess what? It was a white person or white people that put DEI in place, but you ain't going to run and complain to them about it. All the policies that they put in place that seemingly looks like it's looking out for the interests of black people was put into place by white people, but they want to get mad at black people about it. That's the interesting conundrum that we're dealing with. They're taking out all their aggression on us because they see us as the low-hanging fruit, but they won't have that same smoke for the people that actually put this stuff in place, which are other people that look like them. That's why I keep telling y'all, many of them don't even know how to confront themselves. Many of them don't know how to hold themselves accountable, so they come and attack us. Like we had a hand in it. We didn't ask for DEI. Affirmative action did not benefit us, which is why we were not upset when they overturned it last year. CRT, we didn't ask for that either. But they keep projecting those three things and anything else that they can because they feel like it's a black thing or specifically something for black people. We didn't ask for that. They just put that in place. And if it just applies, then hey, it is what it is. Well, we not losing no sleep over it, but they are. They are always in our damn business, always pocket watching. And then that's why they wonder why the rug is being slowly but surely pulled from underneath them. And they left sitting on their cold bare ass. You got these fools sitting up online right now complaining about DEI and other things that should be low on the totem pole for them, other than what could actually be affecting them. This right here should not even be something worth even complaining about. I don't even know how this even became a news story, but I'm glad that it did. I'm glad that it did. because it exposed them even more. The more anti-black they become, the more they expose themselves to the world how weak and feckless they are. And because we are in the age of social media, everything can just spread far and wide so fast in the blink of an eye. Gone are the days when it took days and weeks for certain things to catch up because we didn't have social media, so you didn't get access to a lot of stuff as fast. But they're literally putting themselves out there on Front Street right now. They claim to not be victims and tell everyone to stop dibbling dabbling in victimhood. I think I probably did about 3 or 4 stories in the last couple of weeks that display them dipping their toe, all of them, into the pond of victimhood. The same one that they tell us to stop complaining about, just pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. Y'all really got that upset and irate because of a scholarship when there's so many more out there that you can have, but you don't want that. You want what is meant for us. That's why they keep being up in arms about reparations, because they are trying to figure out how they can get in on it. If they had a way to get in on it, they would not give reparations that much of a pushback. But because they can't figure out how they can get in on it, they always have to insert themselves in there and say, why can't it be for everybody? Why can't we get some of it? You know, you weren't a slave. I didn't own a slave. Like, again, just peep the verbiage. They're not mad because it can't be given, because we know it can be divvied out, because look at what the establishment decides to put money into right now. It's because they have no part of it. Sitting up there complaining, well, I don't want to pay, my tax dollars into this. It's not coming from you, it's coming from the government. And speaking of you wanting to be upset about tax paying dollars, why aren't y'all upset about the fact that Eric Adams up in New York literally is using tax paying dollars to fund these illegal immigrants with these $1,400 plus prepaid gift cards that they're going to give them monthly, basically a monthly stipend? That's, if you want to be upset about something, be mad about that, but they're not going to be upset about that. That's why I keep telling people, when it comes to those illegals, don't do the whole side thing, the left or the right or whatever. They're both in on it. They're both in on it. But as far as this goes, I laugh at it. I laugh at this. Because now they've really shown how extremely inferior they are.